Hey there everyone, this is Sonia with SNV Music, and today we will be discussing key signatures. Welcome back everybody to episode 2, key signatures. So with key signatures we will be discussing 4 areas. The first one being, where do we find key signatures? The second one, what are key signatures? Third one, why do we need key signatures? And lastly, how can we use key signatures? How do we properly use them? So in order to answer where do key signatures go, we need to do a little overview and take a walk down memory lane to episode 1 of the staff. So in the staff, the first thing you are going to see is a clef. And for the purposes of this video, I'm going to be using the treble clef. Following the clef is where you find, can you guess what it is? Ding ding, your key signature. So after a clef, you will always have your key signature. And following the key signature, you are going to have your time signature. And once again, for the purposes of this video, I will be using, let's see, a 4/4 time. But yes, this is the area where you will find your key signature in the staff, right at the beginning, right after your clef. So now that we know where our key signature is located, our next question is, what are key signatures? So key signatures are actually a collection of accidentals that we would find on a scale or a key that is used in the music that you are reading or in the music that you are composing. But now you may be asking yourself, what in the world are accidentals? What are they? All right, so we actually cannot talk about key signatures without discussing accidentals. Accidentals are very important to know in key signatures. So our accidentals are actually written in front of notes. And the purpose of these are to indicate whether that note will be raised from its original pitch and raised to create a sharp or lowered to create a flat. So we're going to use this quarter note here as an example. It can be any natural pitch you can imagine. And let's say we wanted to raise this natural pitch. So how will we do that? Well, the way we would do it by raising it is that we would add this little symbol right in front of it that looks like a pound or number symbol. And when we have this symbol in front of it, it indicates that our natural pitch has been raised higher to a sharp. So this would be, our number sign would be our symbol for the sharp. Now let's say we wanted to bring that sharp sound back down to its natural pitch. Then we would use this like box looking kind of symbol. We would place it in front of our note. And now our note has gone from this raised sharp pitch back down to its original. And this symbol would be called the natural. Now let's say now that we're back at our original pitch, we wanted to bring it lower. Then we would have to place this B looking symbol right in front of our note, meaning that we have now flattened the sound of our original pitch. So these are our 3 basic accidentals that we're looking at. The first one we looked at being the sharp, the following one being the natural, meaning we're bringing that pitch back down to its original sound. And last but not least, lowering the sound of our original pitch. The B symbol would be our flat. Never call it a B symbol. It's actually not a letter B. It's actually almost like a stick with a little half of a heart on it. But anyways, so how would we use these accidentals? Well, we're going to use the E major scale as an example. So I'm going to jot down 8 little bubbles that are going to be our 8 little notes to be an octave of the scale of E major. So we have E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. On their own, this does not make the E major scale, as the E major scale contains 4 sharps. And our 4 sharps are located in the F, G, the C, and the D. Now we have an actual E major scale. And the way we would use these accidentals is in the notation, we would write our accidentals in front of these 4 notes. So now we have an E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. And we have properly written down our accidentals in front of the notes. Now, why is any of this important? Well, the reason this is important is because key signatures help visually declutter what we are seeing in our music, in our sheet music. So let's take the E major as an example. So let's draw a staff. We'll use a treble clef. And now we are going to write our E major scale on this staff. When we are writing this E major scale on our staff, we're actually going to have to write every accidental in its place. And as you can see, it kind of, visually wise, it looks a little cluttered. And it doesn't seem like the most efficient. I mean, can you imagine a 10-piece of music paper, like sheet music that's 10 pages long with accidentals everywhere? I mean, that's just visually insane. So the way we solve it is, instead of putting them in front of every single note in every single F, G, C, and D, we put them in the beginning right after our clef, and then it becomes more visually appealing. And that's one of the reasons, honestly, why we use key signatures. It just declutters our sheet music. It makes it easier to read. So right here, you can see we have our 4 sharps there. Another reason why it's important is because it helps us from the very beginning determine what key or what scale our musical composition that we are reading is going to be played in. So that's also another important factor on why key signatures are being placed at the front. All right, so now that we know what they are, where they're located, and why it's so important, how do we use key signatures? How do we know where to place a sharp or a flat? Well, all of that really depends on the scale or the key that your musical composition is written in. So it really honestly depends on, your scales. So what I'm going to do for the purposes of this video, I am going to give you a summary of the scales and tell you how many accidentals each have. And I'm not only going to give you the major scale, but also its relative minor. So let's begin with the first one. C major and its relative minor A minor have no accidentals whatsoever. They do not have any sharps or any flats. G major and its relative minor, which is the E minor, they have 1 sharp. D major and its relative minor B minor have 2 sharps. Then we have A major and F sharp minor. They both have 3 sharps. E major and C sharp minor. They have 4 sharps. Then we have B major and its relative minor G sharp minor. They have 5 sharps. F sharp major and its relative minor D sharp minor have 6 sharps. And then C sharp major and its relative minor A sharp minor have 7 sharps. So this would be the order of how many sharps go to what scale. So next would be our flats. F major and its relative minor D minor have 1 flat. B flat major and G minor have 2 flats. E flat major and its relative minor, C minor have 3 flats. A flat major and F minor have 4 flats. D flat major and B flat minor have 5 flats. G flat major and E flat minor have 6 flats. And then lastly but not least, C flat major and its relative minor A flat major have 7 flats. So this is a basic summary of the scales and its relative minors and how many sharps and flats each contain, each have. So the next thing we would have to talk about is the order of sharps and the order of flats. So let's start with the order of sharps. The order of sharps starts with F, C, G, D, A, E, B. And an easy way to remember how to place them in order is with another phrase, just like when we were memorizing the lines and spaces, except this one is fairly similar. So this one is Father Charles goes down and ends battle, and that would be the way that you can recall and remember the order of sharps in its place. Father Charles goes down and ends battle. So let's move on to the order of flats. The order of flats is fairly similar, and you'll see the difference is that it's just backwards. So when we start with this, we start with a B, E, A, D, G, C, and F. And the phrase to remember the order of flats is going to be battle ends and down goes Charles's father. So the order of flats is the order in which you are going to be placing your sharps and your flats in the sheet music. So whenever you're ready to write down key signatures, this is the order that you will be going in. And if you want to find out actually how to remember how many sharps a certain major has or how many flats, a certain scale has, go to my website. I will leave a link below so that you can get tips on how to remember those. Okay, so this is the order of sharps and flats. For the sharps, I'm going to be using the treble clef. For the flats, for the flats, I will be using the bass scale. So for C and A minor, there's no accidental, so you don't have anything there. For G, you have an F. For D is Father Charles. For A major, Father Charles goes. For E major, Father Charles goes down. B major, Father Charles goes down and F sharp major, Father Charles goes down and ends. And lastly, C sharp, Father Charles goes down and ends battle. And then for the B flat is similar. You're following your order of flats. All right. So before we end this video, I'm going to leave this application little sheet for you guys to see and copy if you like. The first one is going to be you having to name these accidentals, what are their names, so that you're going to put that on the dots. You can on the lines provided, and you can also leave it down in the comments. And the second portion is identifying the key signatures, both the major and its relative minor, based on the key signatures written on the staff. So leave your answers in the comment. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave it down in the comments, and also visit the website to get more resources. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was very informational. If you need more clarifications on things I discussed, please go back to the video, or don't hesitate to send me a comment and I'll answer as best as possible. And if you enjoyed this video, if you found it informative, please don't forget to press the like button, subscribe, and hit the notifications button so you'll know when the next one's coming up. All right, have a good day, and until next time.